YouTube? This is Prince from North Carolina Detailing. Going for a quick stroll this morning. And I got a question in one of my comments. I think his name is, and forgive me if I get it wrong, Southern Soul Food Creation. I think that's what it is. And basically, this is a brother down in Miami, right? Miami, baby. Lamborghinis and Bugattis. But he wants to know, how do I pay my employees, and what is a fair price to pay them? Do you pay them by the car, or do you pay them from day to day? How do you pay them, right? And also wants to know what's a fair price to pay them, right? In order to answer that, my man, I don't know what type of system you got set up. So I'm just gonna go through the 3 systems that I've used over the years, right? And this first one, burn and crash. I hate this system right here, but basically what you have is like a couple of helpers, right? These are guys who you pick up, right? You pick them up, or they'll come to you or whatever, and meet you on a job site. And basically they're just there to help you. They're not really like into detailing like that. It's probably the worst method, period, right? And I used that method for probably like 3 years out of my career because I didn't want to take that step up, right? I didn't want to take that step up. But anyway, eventually I ended up taking that step up. But this first method, it sucks simply because you have to be there with them, right? You can't trust them to do the job on their own while you're doing boss stuff, right? And so with that being said, like a lot of these guys, at least the ones that I hired, some of them didn't have license. So even if I wanted to step up my game, I couldn't because homie ain't got no license, right? He ain't got no vehicle. He don't have anything. Like as soon as you pay him, they go and burn it, just like that. So that's probably the worst method. For those guys, I pay them by the day, right? By the day, right? Or basically by the car. I pay them by the car that day, and I pay them that day, right? Because I'm not expecting them to come back tomorrow. I'm not. And how much do I pay them? It's all based upon how much work we put out, right? And depending on what kind of deals you got set up. Now, here's an example. We had to do not 100. We had to do 50 full details at one location, right? With that, yeah, I needed helpers, right? I needed helpers, and I paid those guys like $20 a car, right? $20 a car, and I taught them how to do full details, right? My way, right? And so what ended up happening, they was doing like 5 a day, but I had to be there, right? Because I had all the equipment. I had all the knowledge if you don't know how to do X, Y, Z. So I had to be there. I couldn't just leave them there on their own. I had to be there, man. So that way it sucks, man. It sucks, right? And so I would pay them, I paid them like $20 a car, right? But now I've seen guys who might be detailing in like the parking lot at like Walmart or something like that, and they may only be charging $20 per car, right? Or somewhere in that vicinity, $20 a car. Something like that. It's based upon volume. I don't knock that method, like going to Walmart. That's a good strategy, but you have to know. Number one, I don't really want to get into it. I want to get straight. I'll do another video on that. But the guys that's in Walmart, if you did 20 cars, right? At $20, that's $400, right? And let's say you had 2 people working with you. That's $400. They're not partners. They are helpers, all right? Like Keebler elves, helpers, right? And helpers do not get partner pay, okay? If it were me and I made $400 that day, right? Number one, you got to take out the money that you use for chemicals and the gas and all that stuff that comes along with that great little setup, right? Those guys will probably get paid $50. Those guys probably get paid $50. If you don't like it, fine, I'll go find somebody else, right? Because you can have these guys. These guys are on a corner every day, right? I pay them $50. That's what I would pay them, right? The second method is the method that I'm using right now. It's two different methods that I use right now, but this is one method I use right now. And this method is contracting. And contracting is basically someone who pretty much have their own detailing setup, right? And I just simply just push the work to your way, right? And you knock it out. We both get paid, okay? I'm not paying for no gas. I'm not paying for your vehicle. I ain't paying for nothing, right? I ain't paying for nothing. All I did was find a customer, you detail it, we split the money, right? This method, it works, but it sucks at the same time, right? This method is like, you can contract out, like if you're getting like, like let's say you're getting a lot of work coming in, right? And you got a couple of contractors you can dish off some jobs to, right? Because you hate to lose any money, because some customers, they're like what we call in North Carolina tricks. A trick is somebody who if you don't know, a trick is somebody who pretty much hire a prostitute, right? And the thing about prostitution is like this. What the trick wants what they want, where they want it, how they want it, when they want it, right? And so you have trick customers like that, you know? Not to compare them to a prostitute, but that's the best analogy I can come up with right now. And so regardless how great your deal is, right? They want their detail done today. I want it done now, right? So instead of losing all of that money altogether, contract it out, right? And get some of it. That way you can get it done today, right? Or when they want it done, even if your calendar is booked. Now, the messed up part about it is your name is on the line. So if that contractor go out there and screw up that job, right? And there's other ways around it. Maybe I'll do another video on just contracting, but there's other ways around it to pretty much, it's not 100%. It doesn't protect you 100%, but I would say 97%. It'll protect you 97%. 99, like a condom, 99. But anyway, contracting. And with contracting, I pay every day, right? But I use my PayPal account with contracting. I don't deal with any cash when it comes to contracting, okay? Because these guys can disappear on you, right? You deal with cash, they go out there and pick up the cash and poof, they're gone, right? Versus when they're finished with the detail, they contact me. I go ahead and send the customer, either I will call the customer and take the information over the phone, or they don't feel comfortable with giving their card over the phone. I send them an invoice and tell the contractor do not leave until that invoice is paid. Once I got confirmation on that invoice, boom, you're gone, right? So once I get that money, I make sure that all my contractors have a PayPal account, all right? And then I go ahead and send the money to the contractor as soon as the job is done, right? As soon as the job, I tell them though, when I first get a contract, I tell them that usually take 24 hours before you get paid from that first job. You want to wait at least 24 hours. Don't bother me until 24 hours has passed, right? But I pay the dude as soon as it's done. So with PayPal, as soon as he's done, boom, 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 he's paid, right? He gets a notification, I'm good to go, right? That's one way. And what I do with contracting, because it's mainly, hold on a second. I have really got to step my video game up. I can't be outside freaking garbage trucks messing up my video. Anyway, where was I at? Contracting. All right, so this is how I pay the contract. I pay them every single day. pay them online. Everything is straight digital, right? Straight digital. Make sure you got them jokers on W-9, right? Because a lot of those guys don't like to pay their taxes, and when it comes down to it, you better be able to prove that you can pay that money, right? Or rather, you gave that money to XYZ, right? So put them on W-9, all right? And that's before they even start. W-9. Don't worry about if they're gonna do it or not. They starving. Trust me. But this is what I do right now. But I'm gonna up the game. Right now I'm doing 80-20. Right? They get 80, I get 20. In other words, if I send you a $100 detail, you get $80 of it, and I get 20 because I understand that you have to spend your gas money. You got chemicals that you got to do. You got whatever the job is, whatever the job calls for, right? But so if I send a dude like $500 worth of work, I made $100. I only sent him for 5 cars, right? I made $100, and I haven't even went out there, I haven't touched it, I haven't done anything. So that's another way. The best method that I love the most is when you are employee base, 100% employee base, right? In other words, you have a trained detailer, 1 or 2. I like to put 1 person in a vehicle. I don't want 2 or 3 people in a vehicle unless they're doing like fleet washing or something like that. 1 person in a vehicle. So with that method, it works well with us. The video getting kind of long. It works well with us because you have you got the van, right? You got the detailing van. You got 1 guy in there, and with our method, soon as somebody book online, it's an automation that confirms them saying that this date is okay, and we have to go from there, right? And with that being said, you got our customers tip 20% of every vehicle that we do. Hey, they tip 20% of every vehicle that we do. So at the end of the job, they automatically getting another $20 on top of the detail, right? Which is awesome because if my guy's going out doing 5 cars a day, right? He's doing 5 cars a day. If he's doing 5 cars a day, he's doing 5 cars a day. He's coming home with $100 in his pocket, right? On top of what I pay him. So he's making $500 off of just tips, if that works out that way, you know? $500 in just tips, right? So if you bring home $500 in just tips, bruh, and that's money that you don't have to report to the government like that, but you should. You should report that money because Uncle Sam want his. But if you decide not to, that's cool too. That's cool too. It's more like a gift. It's not like you know, I ain't gonna get into it. It's a gift. But so these guys is making $100 a day. Let's say he worked 6 days a week. That's $600 in tips, right? And so when I pay them, right? If I choose to pay them $200 a week, man, that's icing on the cake, baby. Because I have to pay for the chemicals, I have to pay for advertisement, I have to pay for the vehicle, I have to pay for you, I have to pay for this, you got to pay for that. And so that's the best method to work, right? I think so. I think that's the best method, right? But make sure your dudes is tight. Make sure they are perfect clones of you. Not too smart, but not too dumb, right? Make sure they perfect clones of you, all right? And that's it, man. I hope I said something to help you out, bro. And it's something that when you're growing, it's trial and error, bro. It's trial and error. You're gonna get some good guys, you're gonna get some bad guys, you're gonna get some awesome detailers that's late every single day, late to every job. You know what I'm saying? So some detailers that look so into not in this video, they're looking at every little speck on that detail, so it take them like 20 hours to do 1 car. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and so until next time, grind time.